You will not call me names. You won't talk about the color of my hair. You won't make fun of me.
Barbie in the real world. That's impossible.
She was name-called Canada's Climate Barbie. Catherine McKenna, far from your stereotypical beautiful blonde. Her story begins in the 90s, when totally hair Barbie was making waves with girls in North America. Catherine was on the other side of the globe, on the front lines of history. In 1998, a thin, young, blonde-haired, fair-skinned woman named Catherine was living in Indonesia. She was dating a Canadian diplomat who was stationed in the country's capital. What she didn't know was that a massive coup was about to take place and that she would get caught right in the middle of it. It was a series of youth-led protests that would result in thousands being killed. Catherine McKenna had studied law back in Canada a year prior, but now she was witnessing democracy in action.
They had literally shot a lot of young people. And it was one of those just horrifying incidents because I realized, democracy is way more than what we think about it. These kids, they died. They fought with their lives.
The event changed her, and years later, it prompted her to run for parliament back in Canada.
There will be more climate action in Ottawa Centre.
She won on her first riding and even earned a cabinet position. But suddenly, a new problem appeared. Catherine McKenna's political views weren't very popular to some vocal few.
I'm just literally trying to tackle climate change, one of the biggest problems, or my view, the biggest problem we face, but also a huge opportunity for cleaner air, cleaner water, good jobs, sustainable future for our kids.
In 2015, climate change activism was new to the majority of the public, and it wasn't talked about like it is today. People considered her position a waste of money, and many chose to target her appearance as their outlet for hate.
It all happened quite quickly that suddenly I was Climate Barbie. I was like, why are they calling me Climate Barbie? Why are they sending me these Barbies? Why are they sending me these images on social media?
And how did it make you feel?
It was annoying because I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna react. So I didn't really do anything for a long time, even though I was irritated. And then one day I was at the UN and I looked and my Twitter's exploded. And I realized that a conservative politician who had been a minister had just called me Climate Barbie. And then I was like, okay, it's done. I'm not holding back now because it's not cool. It's not, like, it's one thing to have random people on the internet doing it. It's another person in the House of Commons who's like elected to be saying these things and giving it a lot of oxygen. So my team didn't want me to do it, but I was like, sorry dudes, in my team. Like, I'm just doing it. And I can't remember the exact tweet, but I was like, is this the kind of language you would use with your mother, sister, girlfriend? Don't use it on me. Don't try to diminish, me and all those women who are working on climate change, because it's not gonna work.
And from then on, she didn't back down.
So you're the rebel media that happens to call me Climate Barbie. You will not call me names. You won't talk about the color of my hair. You won't make fun of me. It is completely unacceptable.
As hate came in, Catherine McKenna used it to fuel her fire to create positive change. As people sent mauled-up Barbie dolls to her house, she led the signing of the Paris Agreement, a worldwide commitment to limit irrevocable consequences of climate change. As she was verbally attacked in front of her children, she made historic investments in public transit. And as people spray-painted obscenities at her office, she put a price on pollution, bringing forth a Canadian carbon tax. And she had to stay very calm.
I could not be emotional. I had to be super rational because if I wasn't, then I would get attacked for being like hysterical or shrill or God knows what. And so it took everything I could muster to just be like very calm. I have so many women on my campaign of all ages. They believe in politics and so do I. But we do need to call this out because it's unacceptable. I think we have to be way more serious about this because women have been killed. We've seen a lot of different incidents, so it shouldn't be you're putting your life on the line. That's bonkers. A lot of counselors have no protection. They're basically totally on their own and no one to support them. So I think we really need to be aware that it's not just like annoying online that people do it. One, it's not acceptable online, and by the way, the social media companies, it's on them to do way more, and I don't care. They make tons of money. They've got algorithms that actually promote hateful posts. That's got to stop.
Now, Catherine's strength is still her guiding light as she tackles even larger climate issues, not just for Canada, but for the world. She has left politics to fight on her own terms. She started Climate and Nature Solutions, an organization that works with governments, big businesses, and universities across the globe to criticize and create truly net zero climate solutions.
I didn't leave politics because of the hate. In fact, it made me stay longer. Eventually, I was just like, I kind of want to fight climate change globally. Like, there's so much to be done. So that's why I decided to leave.
Since she was even tasked by the United Nations to lead a groundbreaking report debunking green claims of big business.
You need to do the work to deliver real, ambitious, and immediate emissions cuts.
And she is able to create substantial change now with no filter.
You cannot invest in new fossil fuel infrastructure. That's the science. The science on climate change is clear.
And what about that label she once hated? Climate Barbie? Well, she's changing the sentiment around it to mirror the positive traits the doll stands for now.
Things came full circle with the Barbie movie. What started off as a teardown ended up leveling up as a strength.
If it takes a Barbie movie to make some really important points about the impossible expectations on women to be, beautiful, but also super successful, but also never be angry and always be very supportive, and that's really important. In life, a lot of times when you're a woman, people will say, you can't do it. I remember even when I announced I was gonna run in politics in Ottawa Centre, people were like, what are you talking about? You'll never win. And I was like, oh, okay, just watch me.